I would really like to talk to you about humor. And
Right.
Yes, and if you think it is a universal thing, does it combine all people all around the world?
Well, it can do. I mean, there are many different strands of humour. I was always told there are at least 7 jokes in the world, but maybe no more than 7. It can be, you know, I've been very lucky with the character Mr. Bean and to a certain extent Johnny English in terms of their international appeal. They seem to appeal to people in many different cultures and in many different countries.
Sie sehen heute Abend besonders bezaubernd aus.
Sie sehen heute Abend besonders bezaubernd aus.
Johnny English isn't so much of a child as Mr. Bean, but he's still quite childish. He behaves a bit like a child because you feel as though he just loves playing with toys. You know, he loves he loves the fantasy, and children love, you know, to be in fantasy worlds, and Johnny English is in a fantasy world. He's in the fantasy world of James Bond.
Zielort?
Südfrankreich, Sir.
Schalte die Raketen scharf.
Das sind nur Radfahrer.
Es sind französische Radfahrer, Buff, und sie behindern den Geheimdienst ihrer Majestät.
I like his self-delusion. You know, I don't think it's an admirable quality. I'm just saying it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch him trying to be good and failing.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich schon jemals einen Mann wie Sie kennengelernt habe.
Darf ich diese Unklarheit für Sie beseitigen? Haben Sie nicht.
Now, you said one of the quotes that Johnny English said was like, an electric car sounds like a nose trimmer.
A nose hair trimmer, yes.
Yeah, is that your opinion as well? Would you say that to Elon Musk?
Well, they do sound a bit like nose hair trimmers. But at the same time, I've got 2 electric cars, so I'm a great fan of electric cars, as it happens, but not for the noise they make. They definitely do make a pretty boring sound.
Virtual Reality?
Man geht voll darin auf. Es gibt Menschen, die ihre Umgebung völlig vergessen.
Ich denke, wir können garantieren, dass das nicht passieren wird.
I don't know how much people want their electric cars, but I can imagine, like ringtones for phones, you know, that people will be able to have their cars making any noise they want.
That'll be great if you could just switch on the dashboard the noises.
You can choose which noise you make.
I can think of some very silly noises.
Well, exactly.
Sagen Sie mir, dass der Agent, den Sie vor Ort haben, irgendwelche Fortschritte macht.
Ziel erfasst. Jetzt sollten wir den aufblasbaren Schuhkarton einsetzen.
Nein, nicht den Wagen öffnen!
Emma Thompson as Prime Minister?
Yes.
Good idea?
Oh, I see, good idea. I thought you were telling me something that I didn't know. Is she? She's quite politically aware and politically active, Emma. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was a bit of her that would quite like to be Prime Minister. And I can imagine she'd be as good as anybody.
She was very cool.
Yes, she's
she
cool.
was very cool.
Yeah, very cool.